Todd Edwards.
Yes, sir.
What a great weekend.
Very good. Very exhausting, but man, the students were just absolutely killing it all day. The last 2 days have been killing it.
It's next level.
It is. I think so. Not from being part of the training cadre, but just sitting back sometimes and watching how the students are performing and absorbing and trying different things. I love seeing that. It shows that the training throughout the country is starting to make a real impact on our fire service, I think.
I talk about how this used to be a subculture and now it's the culture.
I agree. I know there was a little bit of a hint there that guys were like, there's too many conferences and they're all going to go out of business, but they're all thriving because guys are starving for quality, realistic training.
Starving.
I think that's the best way to put it.
I agree with you. I was going to say hungry, but you took it the next step further. But I agree. I 100% agree with you. You said something today that really struck me, and I want to talk about it. You said that the way today went, the instructors need to pick up their game.
Yeah.
I mean that in a really good way.
Yes, sir.
Meaning the caliber of students that are here are not here for the remedial basics. This is next level firefighting where we can really get in the trenches and teach them skills and things that are going to progress their job forward.
Yeah, and I think what we saw, or what we're really starting to see, the more and more of these, smaller, I know that we've used the term micro conferences, but the days of just doing set gap force, 45 times, and just simple packaging 45 times. We really challenged them today with fire rolling over their heads with the can confidence, and not just going through the motions of a can, using all the skills they were shown and revamped a little bit yesterday in live fire conditions, and it tested them because they couldn't just go with the standard stuff.
Yeah.
And even then, even the curveballs we were throwing, they were just hitting them out of the park. And I was like, man, what else can we do?
Well, and that's it. And so now you're holding yourself accountable, saying we need to pick up our game to make it even a better experience for them.
Yes, I think that we should always revisit the skills.
Yes.
And I know a lot of guys are all about the back to basics, and I'm more in the line with let's master our basics. So when we have those down, then we can come outside the box. And we've done. Over the years, I think we're getting better, and I think that the next level is to really force the mental side of our trainings, more so than we've ever done before.
Big part of why this works is the instructor staff that puts in this unbelievable amount of time and energy that goes into this and creating a really good experience for the students.
Well, considering some of the guys that I'm just sitting back and listening to and watching, these are guys that I've watched and admired, and I pick up stuff from them. And what I thought was really interesting this year is some of these guys that are here are teaching at their departments, and they tried some stuff that I had never heard of, and so I picked up a lot of stuff that I'm going to take back and utilize and show other guys as time goes on.
You were doing red under fire, firefighter removal. You made some incredible obstacles in there in realistic conditions.
Yes.
I saw something happen. There was a conversation when you were doing your hot wash after it, and somebody had used a different tool that you had never seen before.
Yeah.
And what I loved about it was you were intrigued enough to have him demonstrate in front of the group, and then you wanted to learn more yourself.
Yes, I think no instructor should ever think that they know everything.
I agree with you.
It's amazing, and I think the majority of guys that I'm exposed to are just they're humble and they understand that. But man, when we have a chance to pick up a little tip that we can pass on, and then another guy passes it on, I'd seen the tool used for hose movement, but I've never crossed my mind to use that tool in SCBA straps to help lift the firefighter upstairs.
Yeah.
So it was when I didn't know they'd used it until we came outside.
Right.
And they told me, and so that's why I wanted to see it. And
yeah.
I was impressed with that little thing.
And that's what I love. It's like your natural intrigue to say, like, yeah, man, there's other ways to do it. So let's learn.
Yeah.
Right? Expose yourself more. I always say, get out of your zip code. Go see what's happening elsewhere.
100%. I reference the same thing, much like you do. Get outside your four walls.
Yeah.
I mean, your department may be doing a lot of just incredible things. I have no doubt most departments are. But there's the next department over and maybe doing something, hey, we could adopt that, or we could change that. Everything from the hose loads, the nozzle operations, to having a tool in your pocket I've seen, but I've never seen utilized in that way. So it's rock solid to see that.
So this is my second year here in Fairhope. You guys have done this now, I think, 5 or 6 years.
I think this is our fifth year now.
Fifth year. The foundation. Talk to me a little bit about what that's about.
Well, when Captain Rowell, when Anthony approached me and his idea, and it's solely him, it really is his idea, and he asked me to just kind of help I wasn't sure how it was all going to look, and then my wife got involved and helped him write all the documents that they have for your, all your nonprofit stuff. And now we're starting to see that payoff already, in the state of Alabama, and able to expand even more training and bring in legends of the fire service right here in Fairhope, Alabama.
Right.
And, so guys, don't have to always travel, and some of our guys here they can never afford to go somewhere else.
Right.
So us bringing in these guys and be able to do these type of drills, but I can't say enough about Fairhope Fire Department.
They're unbelievable.
We have literally created stuff and go, hey, I have an idea, and we come here and they build it, and they build it to where it's going to last forever. There's props in here that nobody can tear down, I think.
Chief Chris Ellis and his crew, I mean, these guys work day and night to accommodate and to facilitate this conference, and without them, it could never happen.
Yeah, and I think, one of the key things, I always make sure I try to give that credit. These guys are all volunteer firefighters.
Right.
And they are so bought in and understanding. Of course, a lot of their guys are taking the classes, but the pre-work, nobody ever sees that. They don't see how much work it takes with, just getting breathing apparatus all arranged and building out props and hose and engines, and it just goes on and on. And when the guys film bottles all day, I guarantee that guy's filled 300 bottles a day.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this, right after a weekend like this, we all separate and go our own ways, but man, this is what fuels it.
Yeah, I think so. I'm super excited to see. Me and Captain Rowe have already spoken. We're going to keep that number right where we're at now. We know, I think if we said if we can have 100, we'd get 100 guy registers. But where we're at now, we have that one-on-one time. We have that time to redo things, allow guys extra reps, and we couldn't do that if we got any bigger than where we're at.
It's creating a good experience for the student, and I think the other thing too is scaling this at a rate that fits what you're trying to deliver.
Yeah. When we can have that hot wash and allow the students to be able to get that feedback, and we're talking back and forth, I think it's a confidence builder for students, especially as many young guys we have out here.
Yeah.
And there's some guys out here, 21, 22.
Yeah.
There's a 20-year-old out here.
Yeah.
And so
Also
they're
saw some
being
Chiefs.
exposed to all these guys.
And that's exciting too, is to see some of the upper brass coming through to see what's going on.
Yeah, and that's huge. And I
Because
think
it's contagious.
If somebody ever said what would be your number one thing you'd love to see change, more chief officers involved in these kind of trainings.
I would agree.
So they know what their captains are doing and why they're doing something at a Fireground. If I understand it, I'm like, yeah, go get it, Captain. But I'm wondering what they're doing, especially when we were talking about VES.
Right.
If my chiefs don't know what the guys are doing on VES, they're not going to allow it to happen. So we need more chief officers, even if they're not participating. On the ground, watching and seeing the skill sets and seeing what their firefighters are doing it's huge, absolutely huge for them.
Couldn't agree more. And that's what goes to driving culture and allowing for a culture where these guys can leave here this weekend, go home, take what they learned here, and try to share it and spread it.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
Yeah.
And I think most of them will. And some of the guys that we had today are repeat, guys we've seen before.
Right.
And you could tell they just didn't leave here and drop it on the bay floor. They actually went back and started teaching other guys.
Yeah, I love that.
And that showed today because, as many, like I said, we threw curveballs and they were just like, yep, I got that curveball. So, I won't have to go home and start actually thinking.
Yeah, and I got to think for you to kind of wrap here is like for you, what you get out of this weekend working with talented, motivated firefighters. It's got to push you.
Yeah, I think I think all the instructors can see that, and they're looking. They want to be better for the next wave of students. And the other end goal for me personally is for that young guy, that guy just starting to teach, to pick up what we're showing, and then he carries that forward. Because some of us, like Captain Rowe is old as hell. He can't be out here all the time.
I love it. Well, Todd, thank you, man.
Thank you,
for allowing
appreciate
me to
you
be a
coming
part
too,
of this.
bro. Yeah, I'm glad you were here.
This is important to me.
Yeah.
And, Fairhope has grown on me, and it's great people. It's a great department and a good backdrop for incredible training.
Yeah. We're going to get the dates announced for next year and push that out real soon.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you sitting down for a few minutes and sharing your thoughts.
Not a problem. I'm just glad to be sitting down.
There it is.
And I'm emotionally more stable now after this talk.
That's perfect. That's what we're going for. Making the fire service better, one therapy session
One therapy at a time.
That's it.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah, awesome.